we're very excited to have gift cards, gift certificates for Mountain's Top Coffee Shop. So I'm looking forward to the community coming in and purchasing these gift certificates so people can come in here and have a wonderful coffee. The gift certificates will also work on the baked goods, on the ice creams and milkshakes, anything you want to purchase here at the Mountain's Top Coffee Shop. So come on in and we'll get you guys some gift certificates for Christmas. It's a perfect stocking stuffer. Hi, it looks like Randy's here. Hey Randy, come on in. So nice to see you again.
Good to see
Hey,
you.
come on in, have a seat. How was your drive up here?
It was wonderful. Snow and fog and moisture,
Felt like nature.
water. I love it.
Okay, so Randy, I asked you to come in today because I wanted to give you a gift. This is for all your service to our community. And we just want to say that we're very thankful for everything that you've done for Youth Other Community Services. And the coffee shop is up and running. We finally got all the permits done. So excited. It is exciting. And so it's going great. We have lots of volunteers. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. We're hoping to get more volunteers for Saturday and Sunday as we get through the next couple of months. But I wanted to tell you thank you for all your service.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So why don't you tell me what your plans are? Because I know that life is going to be changing a little bit for you.
Well, I've got plenty of time to make some additional contributions to the foothills.
Great.
So the things that are coming in Brownsville, let's start with broadband.
Oh, wow. Great.
Broadband is a very high priority. In the past, through the county, there's never been anyone that had a single hat. It's like you pass the hat around, when you get to it, you'll do that. Now we have someone dedicated to bringing broadband to the entire county. Specifically, my request is for Brownsville. Brownsville is the core of the growth and potential in the future. So, without broadband, you can't survive in this century. We have got to have that. So that's a huge item. It will take time, but there is money available. Now we have a coordinator to put this together, and over the next few years, what you'll see is some activity happening. So, big on my list. Then fire prevention. In the past, we've never had a fire prevention officer. And so requesting and pushing and looking for dollars, we now have money to hire that individual.
Oh, that's great.
So trying to find that individual, I could use your help. Help me find that person that will work in the upper foothills, that really focuses on those things that need to be done. We have hired a crew that will be working full-time, clearing along the roads, starting January-ish.
Oh, great.
So they'll have a foreman, a truck, a chipper, equipment, and that will be their assigned duties. In the past, it's been whenever they get to it. Now we will have a crew that works on it full-time.
Great.
And now we need a coordinator to also look for additional funds, work with the Board of Supervisors for a specific ordinance that will help make our communities safer. And particularly in those areas where we don't get a lot of support from primarily absentee landowners that don't live here.
Right. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of people that are not around to realize how important it is to cut their grass or to trim their dead trees. They come up a couple weekends during the summer and then they're gone. We have, this last year I have several patients that have said their next door neighbors, they haven't seen them in a year and that their property is dangerous. So we do see that being a problem.
And that's where we're headed. And we want to encourage them. We'll support them. We'll work with the landowners, not only doing the right-of-ways of the roads, but for those landowners that want to participate, we can move back onto their property as well.
That's great.
And from the Board of Supervisors, I'll be asking them at the first meeting in January that this is a core area that needs that support. So stand by for that one.
Perfect.
Water. Water's a big issue, as you can imagine.
Right.
That we need more water, more quality. Every community in Brownsville should have all the water they need within limitations of droughts. So those three items of broadband, fire, and water, that's where I'm headed.
Great.
So 2022, that will be the focus that I'll be asking for support from staff, from the board, and then looking for those funds where we can work on these projects. So great year coming, lots of good opportunities. I'll try to keep the public informed the best I can, but feel free to call and ask, where are we at now? And feel free to come to the Board of Supervisors and either listen in or participate in that discussion. So we meet every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Unless, of course, there's a holiday
In between there, yeah.
But typically, that's when it is at 9 o'clock in the morning in Marysville in the board chambers. And you can also, at this point, participate on Zoom. It's not as
Interactive.
yeah, it's a little more difficult, and sometimes our system goes down, unfortunately, particularly from up here. That's a challenge. So if you're up to it, bring a busload. Come on down and sit on in, and it'll be fun.
Great. So that is something that we're talking about with the internet is really important, because that's one of the reasons that we started our program here, is that we do have free internet. So the kids can come in and do some after class, do their homework. Some kids are doing their Zoom classes for kids that are doing homeschooling or distance learning. So the internet is very important, so I'm very excited to hear about that. The other thing I wanted to ask is that we're trying to develop this property, so you probably noticed it looks a little different out there. We've been cutting trees and clearing underbrush and pushing things around. We're going to put in a fire pit, and we're going to put in the Hoffman Rose Garden. So for Dr. Hoffman and Dr. Rose, we're going to put in a space that's like 80 foot by 80 foot, and then we'll rent it out as a venue. So that's another thing that we can have, so people can have receptions outside instead of when the weather is permitting. And so I am going to be going to a grant writing group out of Marysville. And so I would like if you could keep me posted if there's anything out there that's coming up from the county, so that we can improve the property. We're looking at putting in some children's nature walks and a sculpture park and things that are more back to nature. We'll have a little bit of a playground, but it'll be more like natural playground instead of big slides and swings. It'll probably be like forts and things like that. So I'd like if you could keep me posted if something comes up, because I know the county has some of those grants or some available.
Absolutely. You can also work with the water agency. There's an opportunity, so get them engaged as well.
Good, I'll do that. Well, I want to thank you for coming in, and I just really want to tell you that we, over the years, have appreciated all your hard work.
Well,
and you've helped us at Youth Other Community Services for decades. You've come in with your wife, your beautiful wife, and have attended our dinners and our raffles and all that kind of thing. So I just want to thank you for your service. That was my kid. You're welcome. So you have a good holiday.
Yes, you too.
All right. So thanks for coming in, Randy. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice holiday. So there's a couple nice bottles of wine that we have in there. So we have coffee from Olson House Coffee.
Nice.
We have some coffee from Bridge Coffee. We also we have Bangor Bakery. So we put some baked goods in there, and we have a gift certificate just to ensure you come back. So we put a $25 gift certificate so you can come in and get coffee when you want.
I'll be back. Looking forward to the bakery goods.
Yes.
Not that I need them, but looking forward to it anyway.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Drive safe. It looks like it's going to continue to snow later on, right?
Yes, and I'll be out of here so I don't get stuck.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Randy. Thank you very much for coming in. I got this.
That one in your right hand.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, Roger, So nice to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a gift basket from Mountaintop Coffee Shop, which is sponsored by Youth Feather Community Services. And you have been such a dedicated volunteer for Youth Feather Community Services. I don't even know how many years. It must be, it's decades.
Well, my first item was I helped re-roof that, what used to be the old firehouse over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And probably like 1988,
Oh my goodness.
89. I don't remember. Maybe 90. Then I first got involved with the Hilltop Gang in 90 or 91. And since then, it's been,
Right.
I looked after the parks and some bit around here, but mostly it was around the parks
Yeah.
for a
At the
little over
community
20
center.
years.
Yeah, the community center.
Actually, what happened is my wife saw an ad somewhere about a parcel of land out here.
Right.
And, in Brownsville, I didn't have any idea where Brownsville was. The only one I knew about was Texas.
Right.
And we went up and looked at the land, and we liked what we saw. The price was right. So after we bought it, we had to come and
Build a house.
homestead it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've been there, 36, 37 years now.
You're our go-to guy when the water breaks
Well, yeah.
and the sprinkler, we can't get the well started. I remember all the times we had.
power goes out.
When the power goes out, we have Roger on speed dial. So this is a gift for you as a thank you for all the years of service, and we're very excited to be letting you know that we're going to start working on this property. We're going to start to develop everything around us. You know, you were very instrumental in the Mountain Fair, helping us put up borders and kind of designing the Mountain Fair area. So there's going to be a few changes on the property in the next year. We're putting in a fire pit. And
Getting everything going on.
yeah, we're going to get it going. So we're going to have little stages in the forest so that kids can get up there and do some karaoke, and we can also have some people come in and volunteer to do speeches about, like we'll have a firefighter come in and talk about fire safety, those sort of things. But I just wanted to let you know that you're really appreciated.
Well,
And-
sure, thank you, and I just wish I had the energy I had a few years ago to keep as active as I used to be.
Well, you do a great job. We are a master of the community. We appreciate you. So can you talk to the community members and say, what do you get out of being a volunteer?
Well, it's a really good feeling deep inside that, man, you're doing something instead of taking something.
Right.
And just hope you make it better for the next group that comes up behind us.
Right.
Get them involved, and it's just a good feeling.
Good
I
point.
never had time to have depression.
Right. You're always so busy.
Of course, yeah, and it's just get to meet some awfully wonderful people, and it's just they got the same thing going, you know.
Right. Right.
And it's nice to be able to sort of prod them a little bit
Yeah.
to get a little more cooperation
Engaged, yeah,
and
yeah.
get them more engaged in doing. And I don't know, I've seen so many people come and go over the last 25, 30 years,
Right.
and it's good memories.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're a good memory for us, but we're wanting to keep you in our future also. Because I remember,
I hope so.
yeah, I remember you even helped me with Little G and Me, our little nonprofit. We were in there
Oh,
painting
yeah,
that ceiling.
yeah.
So lots of good memories. So we're hoping and looking forward to the future of developing the whole property here to give back to the community, and also for the youth of our community to grow up and be solid adults.
Be a
and
part.
be a part of
part.
life. That's
Yep.
what we want. So Roger, thank you. Merry
Okay.
Christmas. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So you have a nice time. Tell Joyce, don't drink it all at once. But we have some
See, she don't.
Oh, you do. It's one of the things that I put on their free coffee. Black coffee because it's so cold outside. So did you want to tell me a little bit about?
So when I got here, many years ago, I drove up, and there was an old car service building, which is now the office, and this big patch of green grass, and a bunch of volunteers working the office to make it ready for the doctor to come. Then during that next 10, 15 years, we were able to do lots of different things. Part of the whole process was that we were on call 24/7, so it made it great for the community and terrible for the personal life and stuff, but it was really very interesting because during that initial time, they had nobody here at all. They had a visiting nurse that came up once in a while, and so we filled in the clinic, and then from that, they spun off the rescue team, and the fire department started and went out on many interesting calls with people in the ditches and sewing up people in the middle of the rain, and also seeing lots of babies. And in fact, we have one baby was delivered by Dr. Rose and myself in one of the terrible storms of the late 1970s when we had no electricity. We did it by flashlight, and it was an interesting process to do that. And then we also had a number of times we had to put people in the car and drive them to town and have the baby in town. And one time I didn't quite make it. I had to deliver a baby in the front seat of my old Jeep. All things worked out great, and it was a really incredible experience. And then we added many other doctors that have come. Some have stayed and some went. Dr. Rose was here for many years and just retired. So we've had great times. The person that this rock is dedicated to is Bob and the Carney, who Bob was a retired chemist from the Bay Area and came up here, and he was really the reason this whole thing got started, because he got in touch with the National Service Corps and got everybody interested in having a doctor, and they raised money and had all the needed material to redo the Fire Service building, and in fact got the Fire Service to dedicate the grounds to community services so they could build and have a health center here. We opened in '74, and he retired in 1994, and then took off to see the world. And Dee was our original front desk person. She got the job because the person we had hired back in 1974 said she was a CPA. And we said, oh, that's great, we can have a volunteer CPA to do her books. And it turned out that she was not a CPA, but she had CPR training. So little difference with the numbers, and she didn't know anything about what was going on. But Dee was very good with bookkeeping, and so she, for many years, was the dollar and cents person of the community. And so we had a dedication, and we've dedicated this rock to them in their memory. We have a very active board, which is still working on the park, the Ponderosa Community Center, and now helping us develop the coffee shop under your leadership, and all the volunteers, which are great, because there are many of these people that we're seeing in the coffee shop are new to the community and new to volunteering, and they're really being helpful for this community to build it better, and we'll see how things all work out, but I think it's very impressive. We have all this energy to go on and to make Brownsville even more the center of activity than we currently are.
So honey, I just wanted you to tell us about how you ended up at this spot.
Well, I got, it's an interesting story. First, I was drafted, and I wasn't really happy about that, since we were the last people ever to be drafted into the military, but I had no choice. But then they gave me choices of where to go. And originally I wanted to go to the Northwest, but they didn't have any places open. And Brownsville looked like a good place to go, so I came out here and interviewed, and I didn't get the job. So I was somewhat disappointed. But then they called me and said the person that they were going to give the job to didn't want the job, so can I also now be the bridesmaid and take the job, and I said I would love to come out, and that's how I got here. And from there, people made me very welcome. They worked very hard, lots of volunteers, and we took a dream and made it. So yeah, it's even grown. Anyhow, we were able to have harness all the energy of volunteerism, and in the midst of all that, we had a mountain fair, which was great. We had loggers and people that show their wares, and then unfortunately it was too hard to continue because of the amount of work, etc. But last year we brought it back, and it was wonderful. Everybody said it was really the spirit of the community and volunteerism that we also like to push as a part of Brownsville's inheritance. We had probably 1,800, 2,000 people come in, and all the places were stocked, and by all the volunteers were there doing all their sales and looking at doing various crafts and other things that we had. Plus the logging show was immensely popular. We'll hope to have the mountain fair. We're looking at redoing Oktoberfest, perhaps. That was the beer garden experience. That went out fairly well. It was a little late in the year. We'll maybe have to have it earlier. But what really makes this thing go is the community volunteer day to day, getting up at 6 o'clock, coming to the coffee shop, opening it up, and dealing with the public and earning money from the community so we can do more things. And those are the real heroes. Okay?
Wonderful.
We're looking at is what is it that brings you passion, and obviously this is what does. The medical profession and volunteering. Hi, Liz. So I wanted to give you this basket.
Yeah,
Well, it's not a basket, it's a bucket, but I like it. So,
and
does that mean something if it's not a basket?
So thank you very much. It looks wonderful.
So there's a couple bottles of wine, there's some before work.
Everything great. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, drive safe. Okay.
nice seeing you.